Microphone check, microphone checker. What's up? HB here. Harold Gregory Branch the third, better known as HB, is in the house with you on this amazing July 6th, 2020. How you doing? Clearly, I'm in a chair that revolves and I'm playing around because it's just who I am. It's what I do. Welcome to Nightly Decompression. This is where we get a chance to spend some time. Hey, mama. Oh, my God. Your singing is so amazing. Everybody keep talking about how well you sing. So if you see in the comments, Renelda Johnson, she's one of the best singers in the world. And she is the one who gets me to stand for the anthem because she sings it and it's just something else. What's going on, Lynn? Good to have you back in the house. Everybody, I always get excited to see y'all. I be tired. And then as soon as I hit start the live, I get revved up because I appreciate y'all so much, everybody. And so this is our nightly decompression where we come together and just chat for 15 minutes or so about some things that can help with the self-care world. We stay in the world of self-care because if you're not taking care of yourself, then you in no way can take care of the rest of the world. So we really, really need you to love on you, take care of you, and measure and do these different things, right? So that you can be available in the future, tomorrow, tonight, next week, next month, next year, for all the things that we have on the way. So we absolutely need you. Brendan, what's going on? Lee, what's happening, family, right? And so we definitely need that from you. And we're here just to try to provide that, give you an outlet, give you somewhere to be, and some conversation to wrap around this entire issue, this entire challenge that we're just going through as a not even a nation anymore, just globally. The pandemic is a global pandemic. I just found out that I just heard somebody correct me in the comments that the mayor of Atlanta, Mayor Keisha, was just tested positive for COVID. So this thing is really making its rounds. You got cities in Mexico not letting Americans in, right? So things are pretty weird right now. Things are definitely strange. And then obviously with the fight for equality in policing, to stop the murders of unarmed individuals, that is a journey and a fight as well that we're pushing through. So with that, it's 6 o'clock. Let me introduce to you the amazing psychologist I've been honored to partner with, starting our 5th week now. She is absolutely just next level, a beautiful person long before the degrees, but she is a psychologist licensed in the state of Arizona, working with our military. She is a veteran herself, but as I always say, more importantly, she's an amazing person with a beautiful track record of being just that. This is Dr. Angela Kenzslowe. Peace. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm well. Am I echoing? Was that it?
Not to me.
I'm gonna put these on.
Chris,
I'm hearing it.
Yeah. Not to me. I think you're doing great. Good to see you. Happy Monday. We're starting
Happy Monday. Happy beginning of the very 5th week of this. We've been going on for a month.
It's crazy. Oh, I can hear.
It doesn't even feel that way.
It doesn't. It doesn't feel like a long month, but it does seem like we've been doing this for a while. So that's pretty nice. But anyway, it's always a joy to be able to see you for these short 15 minutes. And I'm excited. It's Monday and we're going to get this week started off pretty well.
We're going to get it started off right. And we're going to do that by actually continuing on the topic that we fell into last week. We tend to do that in our conversations. I think that's probably the best organic way to come up with our next topic is see what we end up diverging onto in another area. Like, hey, we'll talk about that next time, right? Yep. In our short time that we do have together. The topic that we diverged on is we're talking about communication and our young people, our children. Yeah. And that's something I'm so very passionate about. Anybody that knows me know that I take fatherhood very seriously. When I was in 3rd, 4th grade, and they asked me what I wanted to be when I grow up, I said a dad. I want to be a father.
Wow.
So that has always just really, really been a life purpose for me. So that is more than just that, you know what I mean? Just that process. It's a purpose for me. I love it. So I know I worked hard to try to understand and stay connected with youth. That's why I got into youth work. I don't know if you know that. That's why I committed to doing youth work, so I can get really good working with young people. So when I had kids, I would have some of those skills to be a good dad.
That is excellent.
Yeah, so you know,
is it
nerdy, kind of nerdy, but you know, I do nerdy.
Nerdy these days. This is what I told my son growing up. I said, there's the Michael Jordans, and please don't anyone shoot me, but there's the Michael Jordans and there's the Bill Gates. Bill Gates won by like 100 times when it came to finances. So
pretty much. Nerds do the world. Nerds do rule the
world.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And I know you're a mother as well. And you got this from a double perspective, which no one believes, by the way.
What?
No one believes you're a grandmother.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. My son is very close to 30 years old. I won't tell his age, but he's very, very, very close to 30. He's closer to 30 than he is 25.
Man, I can't believe that.
And yeah, his daughter is older than what my son was when you and I met.
Wow.
So he is very much into parenthood. He has 2 kids. He has a family. They just bought a house, and I get the pleasure and the joy of being Nana. And I will tell you, HB, parenting and nanaing
it's a different game.
Are very, very different. And it's really nice. I get to love on the children, and I get to give them back.
Okay. I was wondering if that's what you was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Here you go.
Back. And what's so funny is my grandson, he and I, we both have about this 24-hour, not cushion, what's the word? Limit. We both have about a 24-hour limit. And he just loves being home. And he'll be like, Nana, is it time to go home yet? And I'll be like, I think so.
It's about there. That's hilarious.
So, yeah. So it's
awesome. Yeah, that's really incredible. And for those of you that's watching, if you have children, toss their ages down. Toss their ages down. Right? You got grandkids. Put down, I got 3 grands, 7, blah, blah, blah. Let's see who all the parents are and grandparents are. That tier. And when I say parents, my auntie was a parent because she raised me. So she was definitely a parent. So if you're the one that has to go to the school, if you're the one that they run into I ran into my auntie's bedroom in the middle of the night when I had nightmares. I slept in there. You know what I mean? So that was mine, right? That was my mom. So was blessed to have multiple moms. Which is also great, but that's another conversation for another day. Let's talk about connecting with our young people. I know right now it is a stressor, trying to have these conversations with our kids. I know for many of us, they're being forced into these conversations sooner than we wanted them to, and not in the way we wanted them to. So I know that has been tough, and it's 2 sides of it, because right now there's 2 very intense global things going on. One's a pandemic and one's a movement. Yeah. Right. So just even the COVID conversation about going back to school, that stress and stuff going on. Go ahead, Angela.
Yeah, it's important to be able to have conversations that are developmentally appropriate. And so for the little ones, there's I'm looking at my phone because people are just kind of going off on the comments talking about how many kids
we got greats.
Yeah, we got 7 grandkids, 1 great grandchild. Okay, Miss Rogers. Okay, sorry. But it's important to be able to have conversations that are developmentally appropriate. And so there was something that I saw some folks do that I thought was really, really cool when it came to being able to explain COVID to the young ones. And it's, if you have glitter and you show that, if you probably don't do this inside because you'll have glitter everywhere forever. But if you spray glitter, it kind of shows then where the glitter goes. So that helps to mimic a cough or a sneeze.
Wow.
So that way, right? So then that way the kids, they get a visual of, oh, this is why we wear the mask, because when the glitter is covered with the mask, it doesn't really go anywhere. It'll poof out a little bit. You can also do it with chalk if you're more, attuned to doing chalk, but just trying to think outside of the box to be able to communicate
that's sharp.
what's going on. Yeah.
That's very sharp. I mean, you hit a good point, having developmentally appropriate conversations. The conversation you all have. So I have two beautiful kids. My son is 15, Quattro, and Ella's 11, right? Those are two different kind of conversations, depending, right? They just are two different conversations. I had a friend who was telling me about, with her son who's, 7, 8, and she went too hard and it scared him. It really terrified him. And she had to kind of bring it back in because it wasn't at his level.
Yeah, and it's also knowing the temperament of your child, right? So developmentally and then also personality-wise. So one 7-year-old, one 8-year-old can be very, very different than another 7 or 8-year-old. So
very much so.
To really be in tune with who that person is. And so one of the things that I wanted to make sure
where they are is a good way to kind of wrap that in. I'm sorry.
No, say it again.
Meet them where they are.
Yes.
Meet the kid where they are and deal with them there. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and then just understand that this is a trying time. And so just like your ability to have impulse control might be a little bit less, or your ability not to become frustrated or irritable might be a little bit less, recognize that your child is a human being with human being emotions. I know when I was growing up, and then also mistakenly when I was raising my son, if I saw that he was having a poor attitude, it would be like, you better straighten that face up.
Right.
And so what were we saying as parents? We were saying, you're not allowed to have emotions.
Right. Hide them.
Right.
Pretend they're not there.
So there's a difference between having my face and it showing my emotion and doing a behavior that's so again, like I mentioned on Friday, if I had the tools and skills that I have now with raising my son, I would have said, hey, you can feel how you feel. You can be upset. You can be disappointed. You can do whatever you can feel however it is that you're feeling, because you're a human being and you're allowed to have emotions. But what you cannot do is have poor behavior that goes along with those emotions. And so as parents or as adults who are helping to mold young people and little people into adults who have mature, or what do we call it? High emotional quotient. So emotional IQ, but it's EQ, emotional quotient. We want to be able to help them to understand, I can feel how I'm feeling. I just cannot place poor behavior along with how I'm feeling. I can cry, I can be sad, I can be upset, but I can't go punch a wall or throw a temper tantrum.
There you go. I mean, I think we could give our children more grace.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so often we look at their frustrations as though their frustrations aren't valid because they're not, in our minds, the size of our frustrations. You don't even have no bills to pay. What you worried about? You ain't got to worry about this. You ain't got to worry about that. These kids have been away from their social network for months. For months. They have uncertainty like they've never had before. They don't even know if they're going back to school. Harvard announced today that they're canceled live classes for the year.
Wow.
Harvard has canceled live classes for the year. You got people supposed to be starting their first year of college that don't know what's about to happen. Just starting their next year of school. My daughter is starting at my son's school first time. We don't know what's going on. We don't know where she's going to be. So when does she connect with her circle, her friends? That lack of uncertainty for a child is over. It could be overwhelming. And so they are going through some very intense times, and they may not even be able to explain it. We got to respect that their emotions are as intense as ours without the decades of experience in expressing them. So when they say, I don't know, they probably don't know. Like they literally do not know. And I want you to think about yourself at your most intense emotional space. Maybe somebody passed away. Maybe was in an argument with a lover. or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's how a parent made you feel, or a child even made you feel. And think about how off the rails you probably got, how confused you got, how you were trying to, and then take away your 20, 30 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we got with our kids. We have to have more grace and set our egos aside. And, you know, especially my Black parents, I know we got ways of doing things. You don't talk to me like that. You don't do this. I do this. I do that. Yo, no more time for that right now.
Yeah. And then
level of understanding and peace. I'm not saying, you know, accept really foul behavior, but I am saying you can handle it in a conversation, and you can seek to understand probably a little bit more than trying to force an ideology. And then when they get older, they stop talking to you, and you don't know how to. People call me. I'm the person people call when they can't get their sons back. And I tell the parents, you called me too late. I could have told you, I could have showed you how not to let it get here. Now getting them back is going to be more of a challenge, right? Angela, you were about to say?
So no, it's fine. We have about 2 minutes left, and
Sorry.
so no. What you were saying was wonderful. That's why I was like, let me just sit back.
I do think that
so I was going to talk a little bit about, and we can talk about this tomorrow because I'm sure this conversation has to extend. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the brain and how our brain affects us from a developmental standpoint when it comes to impulse control and decision making. And as parents, if we keep that in mind, because we'll just do that. So tomorrow we can continue and I'll give some science as to why we have to give grace, especially during this time. And I think with understanding and with knowledge comes power, right? And so as HB and I are sharing information, you know, take what resonates, and if it doesn't, put it on a shelf. And when you're ready for it to resonate, you take it off the shelf and you say, "Oh, HB said," or "Oh, Dr. Kenzslowe said," and then we're good.
There we go. That works for me as well. Thank you, Dr. Angela. Doing this with you has been an absolute treat. An absolute treat for me. You're so phenomenal at what you do, and you bring so much to the table where I may fire off with a lot of passion. You're like, and the brain works this way. I definitely appreciate that. Everybody, we appreciate you. We love you all as well. We do this for a reason, to help take things off your spirit, to give you some tactics, some strategies to get through such a trying time, an interesting time, a rough time, because we know that we're going to need you in this fight. The COVID fight is going to be a long fight. This thing is here, and it's in Arizona. It's ill right now. So y'all be careful and be safe. Please do not minimize this thing at all. I've seen people on Facebook, friends that's coming up positive. So be very, very careful. And as far as the journey for just equal treatment from cops to everyone else, we're on a beautiful journey there. The Native American brothers and sisters, they had a huge achievement, which is our achievement, which is the world's achievement with the pipeline. So the pipeline has cut and stopped, and they got to get that oil out of there in 30 days. Shouldn't have been there in the first place. So very, very excited about that. That's a beautiful thing. So things are going on, but this is going to be a long journey. Do not get comfortable. Do not rest on your laurels. We got people like Kanye running for president. So we got to be ready for the battle. And so all that said, you're warriors. You are trained to fight. But we need you to do more than fight. We need you to heal. And that's what warriors do as well. They fight and they heal. And we're just here to help you do that. Thank you very much, Angela. Appreciate you.
Have a good night.
See y'all tomorrow night. We'll continue the conversation. Later. And share it with your friends and follow us on social media and go to YouTube.